So most probably you might have already heard about AutoResearch. It is a system built by Karpathy that can run hundreds of experiments while you are asleep. I'm not going to talk about AutoResearch today. There are plenty of articles or videos which are talking about how good the system is. But I'm going to talk about idea that I took and applied on something else, which is LoRa adapter fine-tuning. So I took the same idea and applied to build auto fine-tune system that can fine-tune LoRa adapter to adapt small language model on your use case. So let's check it out. Okay, let's jump to the auto fine-tune repo. So basically, if you look at the README file, it is very much self-descriptive. But the core idea is that the project automates the fine-tuning process of LoRa adapters. So basically what you need to do in plain English, you define your use case, you upload the examples, you choose the model on which you want to do the fine-tuning of LoRa adapters, and basically you just trigger the training process. This system is integrated to MLflow. What does that mean? It means that all the experiments that you are running, associated runs are being logged along with the hypothesis and everything. I will show you in the video how it works. So this gives you a possibility to always go back and look and compare different runs. It is a very powerful tool which helps you to organize your experiments, and that's why I'm using MLflow here. And then you might also want to share your runs. So you might have identified better LoRa adapters. So basically what you can do from the same auto fine-tune UI, you can actually push these adapters directly to Hugging Face. So this is also something what I have integrated in the system. Just to explain the architecture, as a user, you log into this UI and you say, hey, I want to build a kind of a LoRa adapter that can classify email urgency. You uploaded 200 examples. So what behind the scene is happening, there is a data preparation pipeline that triggers. Basically, what is going to happen is that it will do an LLM call to do some kind of a data analysis in the backend, which validates the examples. It synthesizes system prompt so that it can guide LLM how to generate response. It does the split between 80-20, train and eval, and it also freezes the eval data set in the backend. So this is basically what in the backend things are happening. If your data is imbalanced and you want to actually generate some synthetic data during the fine-tuning process, this is the stage which it can also handle automatically. Then there is a program mdgenerator.py file, which basically the task is only one thing, is to write program.md file from UI. So whatever input that you are giving from UI, it will take that and generate a program.md file for you, which means it describes your task, goal, search space, layer selection rules, and stopping criteria. And then there is an agent loop.py file, which basically is a kind of a loop that is continuously running. It reads your program.md file and your MLflow run history, because it is also looking into the history, what parameter it has tried, what has worked, what didn't work, and it takes all this into account and proposes new hypotheses with new LoRa config and training argument. And here, what I have done, I have given a possibility that you can use Ollama or Claude. So if you really want to run everything locally, you can just switch to Ollama and use any of the models from there. Or if you want, you can also use Claude for better reasoning, of course. And then what is happening is that LLM is proposing hypothesis and LoRa config and patching it to fine-tune.py file. With the new config, it has only possibility to change the configs of the fine-tuning process. It loads the base model, apply LoRa, train on that, and basically save those adapters in the end. And it is logging all these parameters, hypothesis, matrix to MLflow, and it has certain kind of a guardrail that we can also choose from UI, that what is the threshold when it should stop. And then the best adapter is being saved, registered in MLflow, and you can also push it to Hugging Face from there. So this is the entire idea of this project. And very simple, you just need to git clone this repo, go to the folder, and basically copy this environment file to .env so that you can provide all the API keys that you want to add, run UV-sync, and just do streamlit run app.py. So here's my repo that I have cloned on my local system. And basically what you might have seen, I have a .n.example file where I need to copy Anthropic key, MLflow, tracking URI, and Hugging Face token. I will run UV-sync. I already have all packages installed, and basically you can see that my environment is ready. And now what I will do, I will just do streamlit run app.py, and this should start an app on my machine. So Auto Fine-Tune app has already started on my local host. And the one interesting thing that you can see that it has detected the MLflow URI, which I have passed on my .env file. And there, basically, it gives you several examples. So for data, you can use an example data set. And as I mentioned in the example file or example folder, that you had email urgency classifier example, invoice data extraction, commit message generator. All these examples are there. Or what you can do, you can select this and upload your own data here, or you can, if you have a file, you can also upload a file from here. Both are possible. In this example, I'm going to use an example data set. So basically, I will choose something like invoice data extraction. So in this case, what is going to happen is that, let's say we are giving a kind of a text and we would like to extract some key information from that text. So this is what I'm going to fine tune my model on. Of course, you can give description about your model so that we have an experiment that is being created. So let's say take an example here. This is where I'm giving an example like invoice data extractor of LoRA. So I'm saying that this is an extraction use case, and here multiple possibility of base models that you can use. Because I'm running this on my local machine, I just want to make it faster, so I will use 0.5 billion parameter of Qwen 2.5. I will just run it for 10 iteration, but you can also choose that it should run unless it doesn't reach 85% accuracy. But what I'm going to do is that whatever reaches first, so either 10 iteration or 0.85. Of course, here now, as you can see, there is a possibility that if your example data set that you are downloading, and if it is imbalanced, then most probably it will affect your LLM's output, right? So with this, what we can do is we can balance the classes. So here, what in the backend, it uses Claude to really look at the example and create some synthetic example of classes that are not present. So just to create a kind of a balance out of it. But in our case, the 200 examples that we are taking is quite balanced, so we are good. And here I'm saying that I'm going to run it using Ollama. So my Ollama server is running on this URL, and I'm going to use Llama 3.2 as a base LLM for reasoning and so on. Of course, here you have different possibilities. You can really go hybrid mode. In our case, we will say, okay, let's use Claude for reasoning. For data prep, we can hand over to Ollama. And for judges also, I will hand over to Claude just to really evaluate the output. And so let's start the training process. So as you can see, we are using Llama 3.2 for data preparation, and now data is ready. And now what we are doing is that pre-downloading model weights. So basically what we are doing here in the backend, it is loading Qwen 2.5 0.5 billion parameter model in the backend. So usually it takes like 1 or 2 minutes to download the model weights in your local. And then once the model weights are downloaded, then you can see that it started the iteration. So in the backend, Claude might have looked at the configuration, looked at the use case, and tried to propose like first iteration, giving some example like what we are going to do. And then you can see the fine-tuning process starts. Okay, let's wait a couple of minutes and see the result. Okay, so in just one iteration, we have achieved 95% accuracy. And basically you can see only it has executed one iteration with a loss of 0.45 and JSON key accuracy around 0.95. Of course, this is a very simplistic example. So you might have seen that within one iteration, it has achieved higher accuracy. Of course, because the base model already brings a lot of knowledge, but just for your demo, you can see that within this UI, you provided your use case, you provided an example, it started your execution, and you can see everything here. Now, let's say your LoRa adapter has been fine-tuned. Now you have Inference tab. So basically, as you might have seen, it will list all the experiments which has been logged here, for example, in my MLflow. So you can see all the experiments, and you can choose any of the experiments and basically associated runs to select multiple of them and start doing some comparison. In this case, for example, we use this experiment, invoice data extractor LoRa, and it had only one run. And what I will do is that I will use this example and compare the output with the base model. So here you have three options. Single test, you write one example and you compare the output. You have example data sets. So if you remember, when you uploaded the example file in the backend data prep pipeline already stored some of the eval data set, and this is what you are seeing, that you can actually click on one of the examples and it will load, first of all, the model and the adapter, and basically it will run the output. And you can also go here and you can select a number of examples here and do a kind of a batch evaluation. But let's wait a couple of minutes. Okay, so the model has been loaded. If I click on this, so now basically the model is already being loaded in the cache. And you see the adapted LoRA model gives me the correct format. And just to remember, right? So it's not about this model is giving a wrong output, but with the adapter, what we have done is that we have adapted the output exactly in the format that I want. What you can also do is that you can choose, let's say 30 examples, 32 examples, and run batch eval, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so as you have seen that we have run the batch evaluation on 32 examples, and on the base model only 3% of the time, which is 1 out of 32, it exactly matches the output that the same format that we would like. And on the other hand side, with the LoRA adapter, 32 out of 32 adaptation works. So basically the output format is exactly the same. This is your LoRA card kind of a thing, where you can really see what was the best run, iteration 1. Basically you can look at all the metrics, you can look at the task, what was the base model, what was the LoRA configuration, what were the training argumentation, and also you can look into the system prompt. Now I will just click to push to hub. So I think in a couple of seconds we would see link here. So if you click on this link, it will take you to Hugging Face repo, and there you would see your LoRA adapter. Awesome. So now you can see that the adapter that I wanted to upload to Hugging Face is being uploaded on this link. This LoRA adapter has been updated 2 minutes ago. And when I click on this, it gives you really an information about what was the task on this adapter was fine-tuned on, basically what was the metric on which it was measured, what was the accuracy, what are the parameters, and it also gives you a very nice example of how you can use it. So everything is being developed in the backend through an LLM. When it is pushing these adapter to Hugging Face, it is also creating all these information in the backend so that user can just copy this, run it in your Jupyter notebook, and it should work out of the box. Also logging information about agent hypothesis and training details and how it was being trained. So that's it. This was the detailed walkthrough of Auto Fine-Tune project that I have worked on, and I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. Please go and try it out. I am thinking of some new things to add on this project, and if you have some core idea, just go and contribute to this project. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.